If somebody wants to take this interview and edit it, please do. I want to see people. If somebody hears this, just go wild. Well, not too wild.
I think there's a pretty high chance of that happening, especially if I end up linking to it at some point on Twitter or whatever. I'll
make sure to tag you on Twitter when this goes up. But
absolutely.
Yes, please. But I will say, within reason, don't go too nuts, but go nuts. I want to, you know what? Maybe I will say this. How about we do? I don't know if how many people will do. I'd like to do maybe a sequel.
You know, every time you say nuts, it just gets a little worse. Just so you know.
But I'm thinking that we might make a sequel to this, maybe even listening, if people actually do make edits of this, which I hope they do. Anyway, this has been, I just want to ask, so before we go, I try to like to get down with my listeners, not like that, but I want to ask, what is CS, what have you been doing in your free time? Is there any show you've been watching, any book you've been reading?
Honestly, I've been spending a lot of time reorganizing my music collection and getting in the past 6 months, I've been doing a lot of that, just acquiring legit versions of songs and stuff. I was like, because my God, my music collection had so much stuff from LimeWire and, stuff not legitimately obtained back in the day. So I finally went through a lot of it, and I'm finally obtaining good quality copies of things, lossless copies. And, so I've been, that's taken a lot of time, because I have a song collection of 20,000. I also have a Last FM profile too, if anyone ever wants to check that out. But yeah, I'm a big music fan, and honestly, I don't watch a lot of TV or movies. I did once upon a time, but I don't know, these days, I watch mostly YouTube. I watch a lot of YouTube content. Actually, that's probably a giant sinkhole of my time, is just YouTube. Always new stuff popping into my recommended. I am subscribed to probably over 100 channels that I try to actively follow. Tech channels, car channels, YouTube poop channels, random entertainment, stupid 10-second videos, memes, you name it. So I mean, entertainment does take up a lot of my time. I do have a real life job as well. I work retail, but that's only part-time. But yeah, man, entertainment, we don't have enough time for it in the day, do we?
I do kind of relate to that to some capacity, but yeah, I will say it's very commendable for trying to build up your music collection. I know a few people who have also been doing that as of late. I don't know if you can say, as a collecting sample, has there been anything that you had to go on a bit of a quest to find a good copy of?
There are definitely some songs which are elusive, in particular, kind of obscure, I guess, but there's just one song by David Gray called Babylon. It was a hit in 2000, mainly on UK radio. I'm kind of like a what do you call it, an Anglophile in a way. I listen to a lot of British music and stuff, but he had a version of his song Babylon that was only played on the radio, and I had such a hard time finding it, and I finally found it on a CD single that I had to get off of I ordered it through Discogs. Discogs, by the way, is a great music database, and also a marketplace for CDs and LPs and whatnot. And so yeah, that was one thing I had found recently. Also, there was another song by Daniel Bedingfield, "Gotta Get Through This," which was a hit in 2002, I think. Man, am I old. I just keep bringing up all these old songs. But yeah, there was a version that played on the radio for a while, and I had trouble finding it, and I finally located it and got a copy. But yeah, I don't think people realize how old I am, actually. I'm 32, about to be 33. I think most people think I'm in my 20s. I started pooping when I was 20. Or okay, maybe rephrase that. I started making YouTube.
Really?
I don't have a medical issue. I do have medical issues, but not like that. I started
my
YouTube
first bottle
pooping.
of laxatives.
I started making YTPs when I was 20. When I was in my junior year of college, I started doing this stupid shit. So, but yeah, I'm older than most people think.
Oh wow, that's I'm happy to hear you found that. I know I occasionally collect DVDs, so I know the feeling when you actually get in your hands something that's been like so elusive. So congrats for that. And it's always exciting on the hunt, I'll say that. But anyway, I guess we've kind of come to the end. Anything you want? I know you're on most social media platforms under Cs188. You've got a pretty funny Twitter where you occasionally it's not mostly YTP related, but you actually post some pretty funny stuff. But
yeah, the Twitter is not entirely YTP related. It's a mishmash. Sometimes it's just my thoughts on things, but I try to keep it funny. And
you are a very funny person, then I will give you that. Anyway, thank you so much for coming on the show. I really appreciate it. But
you're very welcome.
This has been. And is anything else you want to and I think you're on, again, just YouTube, CS188, Twitter as well. And and anyway, thanks for all our listeners for listening as well. You can find CS188 through YouTube and Twitter from his name, CS188. And anything you want to say before we end off?
Well, I'm going to keep on pooping.
Oh. I certainly hope so. Anyway, thanks for listening to the show. You can find us on SoundCloud, Spotify, Stitcher, Apple Podcasts, and we have the Patreon opening up for the show coming very soon, where you can find extended cuts of the interview. And if you support the show, you'll get your name read at the end of one of the shows. Very exciting. Anyway, I've been GOP. You can find me on Facebook under the Gio Show. You can find me on Twitter at Petty, PETTI_Gio. Thank you for listening. New episode coming very soon. Stay tuned.
The Gio Show.
Gio Show.
The Gio Show.
The Gio Show.